here. So, there's a new movie that came out on Disney Plus called Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. New animated movie. I think it was about a month or so ago. They had a first trailer came out. And I'll be honest. Number one, I didn't watch Chip 'n Dale that much as a kid in the 90s. I know they had that animated show. I don't know if it was actually started on Disney Channel or ABC or one of those. The only thing I really remember of the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is going to Disney World when I was a kid, and two people dressed up as Chip 'n Dale, and we got pictures with both of them. Other than that, I really don't have a fond memory or remember watching the show as a kid. Number two, I didn't care about this movie at first when I heard about it. I don't care if I'm animated, Disney, trying to revive one of their old properties, you know. Then about a month ago they had that trailer come out and I went, you know what? That actually looks pretty good, surprisingly. So this weekend it came on Disney Plus on Friday, and I sat down yesterday afternoon and watched it, and I have to admit, well done Disney. Not only that, I wish this movie was in the theater. I think this would have been a great movie for everybody. Adults, teenagers, kids. I mean, Disney, I feel like these days Disney only puts out Marvel movies or Star Wars properties in the theater. Lightyear will be the first Pixar movie in like 3 years. That'll be in a theater. And now this movie should have been in the movie theater too. It's a 100% a movie-going experience for the whole family. Especially kids right now. There's really not that many movies out for kids. So, it baffles my mind a little bit of what Disney is doing these days. I mean, Disney used to be, kid, family-friendly movies that you go to a movie theater to watch with your family. Now, if I know you're just gonna go stay home and watch it, I'm telling you, the generation coming up, not good. Not good at all. On so many levels. Yeah. Not only that, but I and a lot of people my age or older remember the 80s movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit with the late Bob Hoskins and Christopher Lloyd, directed by Robert Zemeckis. This is definitely a great spiritual, not really a sequel, even though Roger Rabbit does appear in this movie. And I'm doing the mixing animation with real people and doing a detective story like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. Someone is taking all the tunes and doing something with them. Well, this one you have a group of people taking animated characters from all different properties and reconfiguring them and then shipping them off to another country to do videos, but bootleg videos. Interesting idea. But yeah, if you like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I think you'll like this. But let's get into it. The animation. This movie has hand-drawn, CG, stop motion, even sock puppets. The animation is great. How they're able to put all these different types of animation together into one movie, and even sometimes in one scene, and have it look great and perfect. And then you throw in maybe a live action person, real people, in that mix also. I have to say, well done. I mean, they did a great job back in the 80s with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but to combine all different types of animation into one, and sometimes in just one scene, having a stop motion character, having a 2D hand drawn character, having a CG character, having a sock puppet, and then having a human being. They did a great job. Especially Chip and Dale. Dale is the hand drawn one. Chip is now the new CG animated one. Unlike last year's Space Jam: A New Legacy, trying to mix live action and animation, computer animation, it didn't work at all. Something maybe Space Jam 3 can learn from. Humor. This movie has a lot of humor throughout the movie. A lot of jokes. A lot more adult jokes than kid jokes. I think people my age and teenagers and adults older than me will enjoy the humor more than kids. I think kids will just enjoy seeing the Disney characters that they know throughout the movie, along with other characters. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I love how this movie is a commentary on the evolution of animation. Like I say, you have 2D drawing characters, you have stop motion characters, you have CG characters. They put one of the Uncanny Valley back in the day, like in the early 2000s, with like the Polar Express, Beowulf, that computer game, The Sims. They really do a commentary on our evolution of animation throughout this movie. I mean, that was a really interesting, like just having one of the chipmunks being 2D animated, hand drawn, and the other one being CG, right there kind of showing how different these characters are in their own personality, and how that reflected in the animation decision. But yeah, I mean, it's funny when they joke about the early 2000s like that, like with the Polar Express, or some of even the CG back in that day for like the Mummy Returns, the Scorpion King. I really thought that was a great job. And they were teaching an animated class on the different types of animation and the evolution of animation. This would be a great example to watch. And this feels like a true spiritual sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Not a direct sequel, like a spiritual sequel. Because the great thing about this movie, along with the story and the characters and the detective angle, is just watching this movie and picking out all the different cameos, not just from Disney. I would really love to know how Disney got certain characters from other studios, like Warner Bros., like Paramount, like Universal, and were able to put them into this movie, a Disney movie. Like I'm sure if you've been on the internet the past couple of days, you might have been already spoiled about a certain cameo from another studio. And even that, how they got away with doing that with that character, and how everyone hated on the design of that character when it originally came out, that the studio had to go back and redesign the entire character in every scene of the movie, and they had to move the movie back a couple of months in order to do that. Yeah. But yeah, the cameos, the meta stuff in this movie, it all works. Camera work. Really, for this being a movie that was put on Disney Plus, the cinematography and camera work is very, very high bar. And that's why I say this would have been even better in a theater. Just to see it on the big screen, the animation mixed with the live action. Like I said, the camera work especially. I really don't have any negatives with this movie. It's not one of those movies like, I mean, I'm sure you can nitpick here and there, but I mean, I personally, other than maybe spending a little bit more time with the cops and the detective, um, I think Andy Samberg and his John Mulaney, who did the voice of Chip McNeil, Seth Rogen, J.K. Simmons, um, Eric Bana was in there at one point, voicing a character. CeCe Lane is the only human character in the whole movie. She does a good job. Like I said, I really don't have any negatives. I mean, this wasn't one of those movies that was like, oh yeah, I gotta go see this movie. But it still was a nice movie, and I really wish they put this in theaters. I think a lot of people would have enjoyed it in the theater. Especially, you know, like I said, there's not that many kid movies out. Even Doctor Strange ended up being a lot darker and scarier than the typical Marvel movie. I think that really made people a little worried. But yeah, I think if you grew up with the Chip and Dale TV show, I think you'll even enjoy this even more. So I highly recommend it. I would probably give it a 4 out of 5 still. I think a good movie, funny, lots of cameos. I love the evolution of animation and that commentary on that. Overall, a good movie for the family, every age group, especially if you grew up with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think you'll really enjoy this. But that's all for the review part of this podcast today.